Hello and welcome back with yours indeed, Magnus Hellfire. Now today is my January vlog, of which as usual I am slightly late in doing, so I'm actually filming it the same day it's going up once again, because I'm an idiot, I'm not very well organised, I don't plan things very well. But anyway, so rather than talking about how much an idiot I am, which I've been doing a lot in videos and live streams and that lately, what's been happening in January then? Well, January actually was a fairly busy month towards the end. Not as busy as February is going to be, but more on that later. So for most of it I was actually still at home for the Christmas holidays, seeing as though I didn't have any exams I needed to come to, and also given that my timetable didn't start till the 23rd. However, despite that, I actually came back on the Friday the 20th because, as mentioned in other videos, me, Will and Dan actually went in a 48-hour game jam that was over that weekend. Yeah, great idea, going a 48-hour game jam where you hardly get to sleep right before you start your time. So actually that's why my apartment's still a complete mess, because rather than spending the weekend tidying up like I probably should have, I spent the weekend there. But at the end of the day, it was actually a lot of fun. I've just gone over it a little bit in other videos, but briefly, but in more detail now. So what the game jam was, it was a global game jam, so people all over the world were getting together, and we had 48 hours to make a game that went along with a theme we were given. So the theme in this game jam was waves, so you could incorporate that into your game however you wanted. Some people went for sailing ships, some people went for Mexican waves, as in like people, that was a bit of a weird one. People went for like, there was one which was a really good one. It was a voice game where you had to like shout down your mic at different like volumes, and they would raise like a line up and down on your screen, but you had stars that came across your screen that you had to collect, which were at different heights. You also had monsters that you had to try and avoid, and you controlled how high and low your line was by how loud or how quiet your voice was, which was a brilliant game. I've shown it on live stream, so there is a video of it up on YouTube, and it was a lot of fun to make. But what ours was, we decided to go with the idea of you couldn't see at all, you were blind effectively, and you saw sound instead. So everything was black, but when you walked, you created sound. So it would light up for a brief while before fading out. You could throw objects, and when they hit stuff, they made sound. So that would dim out. You could break stuff like windows by throwing rocks through them. That would effectively blind you for like a second or two, because it was that loud that it made a ton of light. Well, no, okay, that's the way the game worked in the mechanics. How the game worked itself was when sound was created, it generated light. In terms of the lore, you couldn't see light, you saw sound. That's just the way we incorporated it in terms of the mechanics of the game, because that was the best way, or okay, maybe best way is the wrong word. The best way that we thought of at the time that we could fit into the time frame of incorporating the idea into a game, and it was actually worked really well. So we ended up splitting the tasks up. I ended up doing a lot of modelling. Sure, put the worst modeller on modelling duty, why not? Will ended up being on the scene and did a lot of the coding. Dan did some modelling, he did some of the coding he wrote. He also helped get other things like sounds. I also got a lot of sounds. So we ended up splitting the tasks up quite a fair bit. So we actually did there were numerous awards. We won the most polished game because we actually managed to get our game finished. We'd actually, despite the fact we'd actually slept the 2 nights, or I slept for the first night, the other 2 sort of slept for a few hours, and then on the second night, the other 2 slept more. I woke up earlier. There was that, but despite that, in fact I could actually say because of that, because we were actually fairly refreshed, and we came back and got on with the game, but we finished quite early, so we actually had time to make a 1-minute trailer, and it's up on YouTube. That's on a different, it's actually on, I'm not entirely sure why I uploaded it to my personal account, because I don't use that account for anything but watching videos and uploading uni stuff. Blah, 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 blah. Words are not going to me today. So yeah, I'm not sure why it was uploaded to there, but it was uploaded to there. And we also made we made a trailer. We made a presentation to show everyone, because at the end you did presentations to show off your game, which in the end we said sod the presentation. Will Sam played through the game because he could play through it faster than the rest of us, and me and Dan just spoke to people about how the game worked, what concept we were using, and so on. So a lot of people like that, but also some really other cool ones. There was another one which was like an alternative idea one, and basically it was to help people. You had like different shapes that you had to try and follow. Didn't really go along with the theme much, but you didn't have to go with the theme. It was more of an optional thing. But their idea was, it was a team of 2, but one of them was an IT student, they were just a psychology student. What they were trying to do was, it was a game designed to help people. I can't remember the condition it is, but there's a condition where you can't recognise shapes, you don't know where you are or anything like that. So this game was designed to help people learn to detect certain shapes by basically having different paths of different shapes that you had to try and go down to get to the right path. And it was basically just to try and slowly help people learn to detect different shapes, because they can't beforehand. So games like that were great, and there were some other games that could have been brilliant. I mean, one of them was a game where you had loads of ships like coming into your city, and you had to defend your city, which that looked really good. The only problem really was it was too big a project to do in 48 hours. Don't get me wrong, it was a beautiful game. I mean, the modelling was brilliant. One of the guys spent something like 12 hours just modelling one of the ships. Like, the detail on it was unbelievable. But the problem being is, it was too big a project. They should have just made it a little bit smaller. In terms of the game itself, it was a beautiful game. I think they should carry on with development, because it could be a really fun game. But in terms of the game jam, it was just too big of a project, was the only thing. There were others. Some of them were a little bit big, some of them weren't all that great, but most of them were beautiful. Most of them were really good. Like, one of my favourites was the voice one that I told you about earlier, with the sound of volume to get stars or whatever. That one was just on point. And there was actually one VR one as well, which was really good. It didn't go with the theme, but it didn't have to. They didn't get it done, which is unfortunate. But basically, you're in the room and you had like different tools. You could weld things to walls, you could break things up and things like that. You had to do a series of tasks and so on. And it looked quite a lot of fun. I actually wanted to give it a go, but unfortunately, there wasn't a chance. But that looked like a lot of fun. Again, they didn't get it done, and it may be because the project was slightly too big. I don't know. I wasn't really talking to that team much, but it could have been. It did look really good, and they did get a lot of work done into that. I can't remember what award they got, but they did win one, which was quite a good one. So yeah, the whole game jam was just brilliant. It was loads of fun. That was actually probably the highlight of it, because for the rest of the month, well, while I was at home, like I said, I was at home for about 2/3 of it. I was just generally hanging out with a few friends. I was talking to family, catching up with people. There was also, I spent most of my time just catching up with a few friends and family, really. Most of my time during the day was actually spent leafleting for a dance school because I didn't have much else on. I couldn't even do work or anything because this laptop that I had here, which I think I showed it in my December one, you can't see it, but I can't be asked to turn the camera. It's the one I showed in my December vlog. It's useless. I mean, thermal throttle's just sitting on idle at 90 degrees, which is... I don't know how it does that, but it says a lot about it. So I couldn't do any work, so I spent most of my time leafleting and then just catching up with people, because, well, why not? That's what I was there for, catch up with friends and family and so on. So there was that, and then there was the game jam. There was also the Cullen at the end of the month. That was a lot of fun. That was we were raising money for Lincoln Bone Marrow Society, of which we managed to raise £200 for. There is a video of me and Cullen, and then also Todd later on, eating some spicy pickled onions. If you've not seen it, if you want to see the look of regret on someone's face, if you want to see what regret means, go watch that, because the look on my face near the end is, let's just say it's the definition of regret, let's put it that way. But that was loads of fun. We turned up. I still apologise to Cullen and Marie. They had something called the Cullabinet, which was basically a big cabinet full of all the Xboxes and that. I was helping transport it there. I didn't realise it got stuck at one point, so I went to shove it and I broke the entire thing. They say it was clearly old. Yeah, it might have been. However, I should have known to stop pushing and check and not just try and barge my way through it, because I put way too much force behind it, but oops. So there was that, but yeah, other than that, we got everything there. It was loads of fun, and Cullen's going through footage. I've been uploading my live streams of it. I'm currently rendering out a different live stream actually at the moment, and transferring it over various hard drives or whatever for archiving. So there is that. But yeah, streamed Stronghold 2, of which Adam kicked my ass again. Streamed Rocket League, of which we had a 20-minute game with two 20-minute games with some crazy modifiers. Really were crazy modifiers. It was kind of got to a point where there was less skill and more luck. You can just dive after the ball and hope for the best. So there was that. But yeah, we streamed loads of games. I signed up to actually become a bone marrow donator, because I thought, well, what the hell, I'm perfectly healthy. If people need that kind of stuff, why not? I've got nothing against donating, and in some ways that can help people far more than donating money. And quite frankly, at the moment, like I said before, I can't, as a student, I can't afford to go throwing hundreds of pounds at charities, but for some people, maybe just that bone marrow is going to be worth more than just whatever amount of money. So yeah, I signed up for that, which was good. I think there was about 8 or 9 of us signed up for that. Like I said, we raised about £200. For more details, go check out that pickled onion video where I thanked someone and damned them for well, no, okay, maybe I should go into more details before someone starts criticising me for that. When I say thank you and damn you to that person who donated 90 quid for us to have to do that, and what I really mean is thank you. It was brilliant, 90 quid to charity. I could not say thank you enough. If I knew who you were, I would shake your hand. I really would. Now, yes, I know you put worth it. Yes, I know you're anonymous. And yes, you probably did it so that you could watch me and Cullen eat spicy pickled onions, but 90 quid to charity could not be better. The damn you is purely as a joke for me opening my big mouth saying I would do something like that. In terms of what you did, 90 quid to charity, like I said, that's nearly half of the total money that was raised. 150 quid in total was raised on the online poll, and then just about 50 quid was raised through a little pot thing that everyone had, that Lincoln Mile had with us, that people put spare change in. So yeah, 90 quid, over half of what was made online and nearly half of what was made in total. That was absolutely beautiful, and like I said, I know you're anonymous, so I'm not expecting to ever find out who it was, although I've got a few vague ideas. Like I said, if I did ever find out who you were, I would want to shake your hand for that, because that was a brilliant thing that you did there. So now moving on, in terms of live streams, I am actually starting to do more live streams. I've actually live streamed quite a couple of times over the last week, of which I'm starting to upload them to YouTube. I am wondering if I'm going to have to change the formatting for it, because otherwise I'm going to end up uploading so many live stream videos that have been cut in to an hour. So I'm wondering if it would be better if I just leave the whole live stream as one big video and just put in my intro and outro on that. I don't know if you've got an idea for how I should format all of that. Feel free to leave a comment, because quite frankly at this point I'm still unsure what I'm going to do with it for me to continually stream. So I have also set up my whole live stream thing has been set up completely now, with a lot of help from Dan for graphics and things like that, because the Cullen one was a bit of a mess because Dan Kane set it up for me, but I didn't have any graphics or anything, so it was all just a bit of a mismatch. Whereas now I've got a proper AFK screen, I've also got proper overlays and everything that Dan has made me, and the only thing I haven't got is a background image, so I'm still using one with a bit of a funny story. Adam back in college made that for me, a different Adam to one I played Stronghold 2 with, as a joke, saying, oh yeah, you should use that for your thumbnails. I was like, no, never being used, I'm never using that, never, 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 not being used. And then 3 years later, when I start live streaming, I realised, wait a minute, I don't have a background image. Wait a minute, I still have this image. Oh shit, it's the only image that fits to the thing, because all the rest are banners, everything that don't cover the whole thing. So it's a case of, well, crap, guess I'm using that. So Adam, if you're watching this, I finally used it, and you may have even completely forgotten about it, but hey ho. And so yeah, there's all of that. Now unfortunately, move on a little bit into February. I'm not going to talk much because, like I said, that'll wait until the February vlog. I'm not going to be able to go to February Cullen. It is a 24-hour one. It starts on the Saturday and it goes through to Sunday, 25th to 26th. I have said I'll go help set up, but unfortunately the 26th is when I'm at a dodgeball tournament. It's the second dodgeball tournament in the month, because we've got 2 this month, and for that one I'm actually captain. For the second one I'm captain of men's seconds. I don't know who came up with that idea, so I really cannot afford to miss that. So I am looking forward to that, but unfortunately it does mean I'll miss Cullen. But I will be there to help set up and that. I've offered Cullen my equipment, my computer for streaming, my camera for whatever he wants to film and things like that. So unfortunately I won't be at that one, but I will try to be at the next one. I will also continue doing live streams because I am really enjoying them, so why not, we'll do live streaming too. So I believe that is everything I wanted to say and needed to say. I don't think there was anything else. What have I spoke about? I spoke about live streams, I spoke about Game Jam, spoke about Cullens, I spoke about being at home. Yeah, I believe that's pretty much everything for this vlog. If anything, I feel like this vlog may have been a little bit longer than usual. So, oh yeah, so just quickly, I forgot. So I have started, lately I've been doing more hardware-based videos and not just games and other stuff. I am really enjoying that. I do want to be able to do more. Unfortunately, it's not going to last much longer. It will only be the odd periodic video, because things like hardware, while I would love to keep doing it, I don't have the money to keep buying it or anything like that. And also other types of videos as well, things like me and Cullen eating pickled spicy onions, random videos like that are really fun to do, but I don't have the time or the people or the resources to be able to do things like that. Otherwise I would love to be able to do it. But yeah, That's all. So I'm not saying I'm going to stop doing those videos. They're just going to be more periodic. I can't do them on a continuum basis. So anyway, I will leave the video there because it's probably been quite a long one. God knows how long I've been yattering now. How long have I been yattering? Oh shit, 20 minutes. Okay, so this is a bit of a longer vlog. I apologise about that. So on that note, I have said everything I needed to say. I hope you have enjoyed the video of me wattling on about how my month's been. So I will see you all in the next video, and we'll see you next time. Did I just... I think I'm starting to copy other people's things now. I've been watching too many other YouTubers. Anyway, I will see you next time. Hellfire